Good morning, Twitch.tv. Good morning to YouTube as well. And of course, good morning, Mini Motorways. Let's go to Los Angeles for today's daily challenge. Good morning, Tugboat Tug Train, who was here first. We will start with 2 bridges, and then no further bridges are offered. That's awful. Plus, we have double trouble. Destinations are more likely to be double destinations. Gross. Not a fan of that. We'll be okay. It'll be fine. This will all work out, I hope. Oof, 2 bridges is not great. The LA River here presents a pretty substantial challenge. So, that'll be fine. It'll be good. Sorry to the folks on Twitch, I was a moment or so late today. I noticed with 6 seconds left on my countdown that I hadn't actually set up the camera. So, for some reason, probably just because I pour a fuck ton of light on myself every morning, whenever I start up OBS, it defaults to having the shot super wide out and also just boom, blaringly bright. Blaring. So I have to go in and turn down the gain on my webcam and all that good stuff. And now you know how the sausage gets made. Sausage. I enjoy a good sausage. All right, let's take a couple of traffic lights. That'll be fine. So last night was AEW Forbidden Door, or I should say AEW and New Japan Pro Wrestling presents Forbidden Door. Basically, AEW did a co-promoted show with New Japan, and it ruled. Like, there were a lot of problems in the build-up to the show. The build to the show was crazy. It was, at times, just bad. There were plans changing left, right, and center. And yet, at the end of the day... You get together most of the best guys in AEW and most of the best guys in New Japan, and you say, here's the card, go have a wrestling show. And they put on a really damn good wrestling show. It was a ton of fun. And from what I've heard, a financial success. So they're almost certainly going to do another one, and that's going to be good. It was a good time. All right, let's take... What are we going to do? I think what we're going to do is run these pinks down here. And then I'm going to actually use the second of our bridges. Go over here. Because the thing I don't want to have a choke point right at the entrance or exit here. So all of the pinks, you'll come in from one way. All of the blues, you'll come in from the other way. And you two can just share this road. Give me a roundabout. Already have 2 traffic lights. We're not going to be getting bridges other than the 2 that we already started with. So once, what am I trying to say? Once we use those 2, that's it. Now, I'm not planning, I kind of hope that we're going to get some motorways. You know, motorways are going to be a really good stand-in for bridges. So, this grows. This right here stinks. Not a fan of this. This orange guy being right here can probably keep this business alive all by itself for a while, but I think it will eventually need some more help. So this could be an issue, but also once the map expands a little bit further up to the north, I'm going to want to go up and over the New Japan River. I just said the New Japan River in my head. This is not the New Japan River. It's the Los Angeles River. It's a different river. All right. What are we going to get this week? We'll take, a motorway. Wonderful. Means I don't have to worry about what the hell these green guys are up to. Let's take you 3, run you over here, like so. And now we're going to do something stupid. Ready for me to do something stupid? I'm ready for me to do something stupid. We're going to run you up and over and down into here. I'm actually going to stick a roundabout right there. So you're going to come down here, right? You're going to come here. You have option of going there, or... Actually, no, that's it. I'm not going to hook up these two blues. It's just going to... But this orange house, though. Fuck. Alright, fine. Can I do... This is probably a problem. What about... Traffic light there? You're going to turn... I don't think that's a good traffic light. Nope, that's not a good traffic light. Okay. Well, that being the case, maybe this is just a bad roundabout. It's possible that this is just a bad roundabout. But... Where else might I stick one, then? Don't answer that. Here. Go out this way. You two blues are going to go that way. You orange are going to go that way. Wait, if I'm doing this, then there's no reason for the roundabout to exist. The only reason the roundabout exists in the first place is to connect these two roads. Which does mean that these blues have the choice of where they're going, which, you know what, fine. This is still going to be so uncommonly used as a road, I'm actually just okay with it. Yeah, I think I'm just actually okay with this. Pink road up there. Okay. Hey, you know what? Why don't you go that way? And we'll take you, point you like so. Go diagonal here, go diagonal there. So let's talk about some of the things that happened. Some of the things that happened in the build-up to Forbidden Door that made people think that Forbidden Door was just cursed. It's entirely possible that this show was, in fact, just cursed. Let's take another roundabout because I used the one that I had. So, first of all, when you put together the thought of an AEW and New Japan Super Show, one of the first names, the very first names for guys that you would think would be on the show is Kenny Omega. Because Kenny Omega has been the biggest star in AEW, and before AEW existed, he was basically the biggest star in New Japan. Right? Well, Kenny Omega is hurt. Kenny Omega has been hurt. He has been recovering from surgery for several months now. Kenny Omega was not available. He should be back soon-ish. We hope. There was some speculation that he might come from out of nowhere to appear on the show. That did not happen. So Kenny Omega not on the show. Tetsuya Naito, one of the bigger stars in New Japan, not on the show. Why? That's a good question. He was not on the show. I don't know if he didn't want to do it. I don't know if New Japan didn't want to book him. I don't know what the deal was there, but Naito was not on the show. And there are some people who weren't happy with that because, you know, they like them some Naito, and you know, from what I've seen, I like me some Naito, so you know, whatever. Naito wasn't on the show. These greens right here, you're gonna go do this and share this awful, ugly pink road, I suppose. It'll be fine. It's long enough. You'll survive. I hope. So Naito's not on the show. That's fine. Let's go with a motorway. So the first thought for a main event for this show was CM Punk and Hiroshi Tanahashi. And CM Punk you've probably heard of, and Tanahashi is not right now the biggest star in New Japan, but he's probably still the second or third, and certainly to an American audience, getting to see a Tanahashi match would be a very, very, very special treat. Well, Punk got hurt. Punk broke his foot, so Punk was out of the show. And then they put together this tournament to see who was going to be the new interim AEW champion. And that tournament, some people didn't like. They thought it was a little cockamamie. There were times when it had a certain cockamamosity to it. So probably just cockamaminess, Goog. But cockamamosity works, I guess. What are we going to do with these pinks? You know what I think the answer is? I think the answer is another roundabout. I think we're going to stick a roundabout right here. Yes, we're going to do a roundabout right there. These blues are going to come up here into the roundabout, go down there. These pinks and greens are going to come up here, whoosh, into the roundabout, and then potentially go over there. These pinks are going to run on their own little road, which is going to come up here into the roundabout and either down there or down here. You are just going to stay here and support that forever. Okay? I'm realizing now that every pink is technically connected to every other pink, which isn't actually what I want, but it's basically fine, I hope. So CM Punk breaks his foot. CM Punk is off the show. They have a tournament that reeks of cockamamosity to get to an interim champion. And ultimately, the main event is Jon Moxley and Hiroshi Tanahashi. And Jon Moxley and Hiroshi Tanahashi had a really good match. They had a really good match. Bryan Danielson, one of the best wrestlers in AEW, has long had a dream match possibility with a British fella by the name of Zack Sabre Jr., who's one of the better technical wrestlers in this entire world. And for a very, very, very long time, people have wanted to see Bryan Danielson and Zack Sabre Jr., except, Bryan Danielson was in WWE and Zack Sabre Jr. was in New Japan, so it was never gonna happen. Well, Bryan Danielson left WWE and now he's with AEW, so AEW and New Japan are doing a super show. Bryan Danielson, Zack Sabre Jr., they could have a wrestling match. It could be really good. They actually decide, hey, you know what? Let's do that wrestling match. And then Bryan Danielson got a concussion and Bryan Danielson wasn't on the show. So they had to replace Danielson with a mystery opponent. And hey, you know what? The mystery opponent turned out to be Claudio Castagnoli, who is a very damn good technical wrestler in his own right. In addition to being a very damn good technical wrestler, he can also brawl and fly and is, super fucking over. So it worked out. And Claudio Castagnoli and Zack Sabre Jr. had themselves a really, really, really good wrestling match, and everybody loved it, and Claudio's super over. Good for Claudio. Let's take another roundabout, because I keep using roundabouts. That doesn't seem like a good reason to actually take roundabouts, but it is the one we're going to use. Could I, you know what? I've got a whole bunch of road tiles, right? Got a whole bunch of lovely road tiles, D. There they are, all standing in my road. Draw a straight line for the love of Goog. All right, let's kill motorway number 2. Let's bring you up to there. You 4, go support that business. Everybody go. You 4 support that business. You 3 support this business. This roundabout, not killing everything. Not killing everything. These greens, just fine. Cannot emphasize enough how just fine all of these greens are. Actually, this roundabout is kind of surplus to... Actually, no. Let's not think of it as surplus to requirement. Instead, let's think of it as a good thing which we should enable. So let's move... I almost said roundabout number 1. No. Let's move motorway number 1, right? Let's take all of these green guys off of the roundabout, huh? What if we run all of the greens into the motorway, and then they choose which way they're going? That reduces motorway traffic. That saves road tiles. That's going to stop these roundabouts from killing everybody. I think I said it reduces motorway traffic. It does not reduce motorway traffic. It, in fact, increases motorway traffic. But, increased motorway traffic greater than increased roundabout traffic. So we're fine. Also, this blue guy doesn't have anywhere to go, but it's going to be okay. So the greens are going to do that, and we're going to be okay. So Bryan Danielson was hurt. Claudio Castagnoli took his place. I, for the life of me, have always said Castagnoli because I don't know how Swiss people pronounce their names, I guess. Let's take another roundabout because I keep stockpiling roundabouts. But Claudio Castagnoli replaced Bryan Danielson, and it was really good. And listen, Claudio's a great wrestler who has never really been pushed as a main event level guy, even though he's, again, a great wrestler. And there's a non-zero chance that he gets pushed as a main event level guy in All Elite Wrestling. And that would be great, because Claudio's great. So that's nice. So Claudio came in as a replacement, Zack Sabre Jr. They had a really good match. Jeff Hardy was almost certainly supposed to be on this show. He was most likely going to be an AEW Tag Team Champion. Well, Jeff Hardy's a drunk. Jeff Hardy got pulled over for drunk driving. Jeff Hardy got arrested. Jeff Hardy's not on the show, which meant Matt Hardy's not on the show, because it's always been kind of true, but especially at this stage of his career, Matt Hardy's career is basically being Jeff Hardy's brother. So if Jeff Hardy's not available, Matt Hardy's not getting Matt Hardy's not getting booked. Which, sucks for Matt Hardy, but, it's a living. And Matt Hardy's good and fine, I suppose. Yeah, Matt Hardy's fine. But also the show didn't need Matt Hardy on it, and Matt Hardy wasn't on it, and the show was really good. So, what else? They are introducing, and by are introducing, I mean did introduce. Jeff Hardy is, in fact, at it again. He got himself arrested in Florida, and AEW basically suspended him and sent him to rehab, and now presumably he's in rehab. And, hopefully it works, and hopefully he comes back and stops being a fucking drunk who, more importantly, stops fucking driving drunk. And that would be a nice thing to have happen, and maybe it even will. Who knows? Maybe it even will. It won't. But it might, but it won't. But it might, but it won't. Anyway, what are we going to do here? I think we're going to take 4 of these blues, right? We're going to take 4 of these blues. We're going to run them here. You, Mr. Fourth Blue, are going to come down here. And we're going to create a neat little side road right here. You're going to come down here. Actually, it occurs to me that blues will never need to be in this roundabout. So, well, they could need to be in this roundabout, but only for purposes of getting down here. The blue businesses are both down here. So, we're going to have motorway number 2 run over to here and deliver blues into this roundabout, from which they will either go southwest into the first blue circle or due south into the second. That should be fine. I see no major problem with that. Motorway off-ramp leading into a roundabout always feels like a risky proposition, but in this case, I think it works. In this case, I think we're going to be just fine. You go that way. So Jeff Hardy, not on the show. Not on the show. Which was a shame, but hey, the AEW tag titles wound up on the Young Bucks, and the Young Bucks wound up in... Well, listen, the Young Bucks are another team who you would think, first names that come to mind for an AEW New Japan Super Show, right? They're the AEW Tag Team Champions. They're long-time tag stars in New Japan. They're just, super fucking over, super fucking fantastic dudes. Not to mention they're executive vice presidents of AEW, right? You would think that they would have something really important to do on Forbidden Door, right? Well, they wound up in a pretty meaningless 6-man tag match against Sting and Darby Allin. But hey, that 6-man tag match was really good. It's always a special treat when you get to see a 62-year-old man jump off the top of a scaffold, essentially, which is, a thing that happened. 62-year-old man named Sting. He jumped off the top of a scaffold. I don't know what the scaffold's name was, but Sting jumped off of it, and he didn't die. So, as icing on the cake, really. 62-year-old man jumps off a scaffold and doesn't die. Ooh, that's a special night at the arena, folks. All right, we're going to run these... I think Sting's 62. He's either 62 or older than that. Let's see. Sting age. Am I going to get the wrestler or the singer? I got the stinger. I got the stinger. That's true. I did get the stinger, but I got the singer. Let's go Sting wrestler age. I was wrong. Tugboat, I want to apologize directly to you. Sting, Steve Borden, Sting is not 62 years old. He's 63 years old. So, 63-year-old man jumps off a scaffold, doesn't die, all the better. Oh, God. Oh, look at that blue guy. Oh, that's a terribly placed blue guy. Okay, we're going to connect this up here so that Motorway 2 has an off-ramp to get right there. But look at this blue guy. Oh, that's an interesting position for your blue guy there. World. All right. You know what? Fine. Also, you know what I'm going to do? Because this isn't actually 2 spurs of the roundabout. This is actually a very bad thing. I'm going to run. I think Sting versus Jeff Hardy was like 11 years ago, because that was 2011. You go there. You come down here and just create a separate thing. There you go. And you don't exist anymore. There we go. You point directly into the yes. Let's go with that. Okay. This roundabout right here is starting to get a little cloggy, which tells me that maybe we should do something else with it. You know what we're going to do that counts as else with it? We're gonna remove all 3 of these pinks from this roundabout. Now, if I just motorway you over to here, I worry. Actually, you know what? If I do this plaza here is pink and green, right? Well, if you 3 come over to here and go straight in there, then pinks and greens go right in there, and this plaza right here exists on an island. This plaza is isolated from everything else. 11 years is a long time in the wrestling business. It is indeed quite the long time. Now, this roundabout is still a clusterfuck. Oh my god. Okay. I think the initial plan was solid, but we might need... Let's just keep this going for now. Make sure that I don't think I've actually killed everything by running that. Give me more traffic lights, because I have 3 roundabouts now that I'm suddenly not using. Yeah, this roundabout has just really clogged up and killed everything. So the issue is these orange guys. The main issue is these orange guys. Let's see here. My favorite appearance of Sting outside of wrestling, a low-budget Christian film. That sounds like something Sting would do, especially at certain points in his life. Yeah. I absolutely believe that happened. We're gonna run this road here, and I'm gonna run you up to here, and we're gonna try to motorway these 4 orange guys so that they're not clogging up 2 roundabouts just by existing. That's not going to be a perfect solution, but it is going to be the solution we use. Now, cars that aren't orange, basically, I have no idea why any car that isn't blue is using this little through road, but some cars that aren't blue are using this little through road, which seems like a problem. Pink, are you going to survive this? Actually, oh no, this pink circle's just... Huh. You know, that was going really well until it just didn't. Top 40%, oof. Look at Ghost and Sam. Ghosty's still top 25 in the world. Geez, that fell apart quickly, didn't it? I know the score says 1269, but that was not nice. That was not nice. Stop me if you've heard this before, folks. I relied on roundabouts, and it fucking killed me. So... Good morning, Busidu. I suspect that you're going to do better than I did. On the daily challenge, maybe not the Wordle. Let's bring in the Wordle. You know, I've never used the word... I probably have. Thanks for that, Tugboat. I appreciate it. And look, none of the letters in daily are in the... Okay, fine. What about score? Score is a good word, sort of. Okay. That actually got us a few things. Good. So CM Punk not on the show, Bryan Danielson not on the show, Tetsuya Naito not on the show, Kenny Omega not on the show, the Hardy Boys not on the show. But this is why you sign 1,000 dudes to your wrestling company, even if you can only get like 50 of them on TV every week. By having 1,000 dudes, you can just replace guys, and it's great. Oh God. Forbidden Door was fantastic. If you like wrestling and you didn't watch Forbidden Door, you should watch Forbidden Door. And if you don't like wrestling and you want to like wrestling, I mean, you're not gonna know anybody anyway, so just watch Forbidden Door. It was really good. It was really good. Tony Storm and Thunder Rosa had a really good match. It's a good show. All right. What do we got here? So, this could be E something something RO? No, I don't think that works. I don't think it's like Epro. No. It could be O something ER something? No, it can't be other because that's not where the R is, but it could be it could be Ogier. No, I don't think it's that. Huh. First of all, what is this song? Not a fan of this. Oh, it's a very slow cover of Close to You. Hey, you know what? Get off the playlist, song. That's better, I suppose. Next. Why do birds suddenly appear? Probably because somebody dropped a sunflower seed. Or they're crows. They could be plotting something. Don't fuck with crows. Crows will remember that you fucked with them, which is scary in its own right. That was the song. Yes, it was. All right. Let's see here. God, I am just drawing a blank. Not a good thing to do. All right. Let's put together a 5-letter word that doesn't have any of the letters that we have, and then see if that jogs anything. So maybe it's flung. There you go. It's not going to be flung. It literally can't be, but there's 5 letters. Good work. Good job. A number 1. A number 1 wordling right there from the _Goog. Maybe it's patio. No, I already know several things that aren't in the patio. Maybe it's opera. It can't be opera, but for a second there I thought maybe it could be. But no, it's not. Maybe it's opers. Is opers a word? No. Maybe it's opert. Is opert a word? No. Maybe it's opera, even though we know there's no A. It's not opera, even though we know there's no A. So, okay. So So O is not the first or third letter, meaning it has to be the second or fifth. E is not the third or fifth letter, meaning it has to be the first or second. So it's... And one of those X's is an E? Good Lord. Oh my God, is it Metro? Oh my God, is it Good Morning Mini Metro? It's not Metro. Thank God. I would have been very mad at myself if it turned out to be Metro. Now, here's a question. What the fuck word is it? Because, Ketro's not a word. And wetro, I don't think wetro is a word. Hetero is kind of a word, but it's also kind of a 6-letter word. Jetro is kind of a word, but it's also a kind of a 6-letter word for a yokel. It's not Jetro. Ketro, as previously discussed, is not a word. Zetro is a long-forgotten Marx brother, right? You've got Groucho and Harpo and Zetro Marx. Zetro, I just made this joke. Not a fucking word. In vitro? Really? Are we saying that it's not? Wait a second. It's a double R word. It's retro. One day, I will fucking remember that there can be a double letter. The same letter can appear more than once. One day, one blessed day, I will remember. Yeah. You know what? I don't know what. So here's what's what. This is going to be the end of the episode. We're going to end now. We'll be... Sam! Watching you, Sam. Samurai Sam played Final Fantasy XII on Twitch over the weekend. Hope he had a good time. I hope he plays more Final Fantasy XII. But still, I'm watching you, Sam. I'm watching you. All right. We're going to get out of here. I will be back tomorrow morning, 7 o'clock Eastern, for more Good Morning Mini Motorways. Until then, I hope you have a wonderful day. Thanks, y'all. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good day. Bye-bye.